sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we are back. Thank y'all for holding on. Shout out to Alana Nicole for joining. Hey. Again, y'all can feel free to call, and that phone number is 410-702-5657. We are talking about alternative facts versus the truth. We're speaking on our own personal truths. Y'all can feel free to speak on your truths. Speaking of truth, D Green was in here writing up a storm right quick. She about to spit something. I hope y'all ready, because guess what else is about to happen?
What?
We're about to freestyle.
No, I wasn't there.
Of course not. It's a freestyle. What you mean?
Oh
my body, shake them off.
Ooh. Okay. So, in my perspective of truth, the only truth that you technically can see is yourself in the mirror. That is the truth. No makeup, no filter, clean mirror, Windex, paper towel.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Just a Bit Outside radio show. I am James Alexander here, your host for today, with my main man with the master plan, Mark Foster.
How's it going, Baltimore?
All right, yeah. As you guys can see, our usual host today, Keisha, is she's out today. She's globetrotting on a trip to Hong Kong. So shout out Keisha out there in Hong Kong. Yeah, exactly. They're 12 hours ahead of us, right?
Yep.
12 hours ahead of us. So, Keish, it's 8 a.m. You can still catch the show. Holla at us. All right, so for anybody who's out there who wants to join us at any time, 410-702-5657. Let's see. What do we have going on this weekend, Mark?
Actually, real quick before we do that, you shout out the number. Let's shout out, we're on Facebook, obviously some of you are watching us there, but also we now have a Twitter account. It's at JAB Outside Radio. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, we'll be posting stuff there too.
Right, thanks a lot.
As far as the weekend goes, we had an extremely busy weekend, this crew. And I know James and Keisha, they started off Saturday morning.
Yeah, we Keisha and I ran the Under Armour Soul of the City 10K, which was downtown. Started and ended at McHenry Row. That was pretty exciting. Mark, you went to a taping of Ring of Honor Wrestling. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Ring of Honor Wrestling. They I contacted them and they invited me as their guest, and it was pretty awesome. Interviewed a couple of the wrestlers. We're gonna have one of those tonight. Hoping to chop them up and maybe present them the other 2 interviews over the next 2 weeks, or maybe just put them on the website. We'll see. But it was a blast. I got to meet Joe Koff, who's the COO of Sinclair Broadcasting. He's the vice president in charge of Ring of Honor, and so I definitely want to thank them and Joe Koff for having me out there. Had a really awesome time. Got to meet some nice people. Met a gentleman with CBS. He's actually with the news, but he does wrestling on the side, kind of as a side gig. Met a guy that is a photographer for wrestling. He's been doing it 25 years, so got to sit there and BS with him and hear a lot of great stories out of the man.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, and then sat there for the taping. Started at 2. Saw some really incredible wrestling. If you're more familiar with the WWE product or just haven't watched wrestling in a while, Ring of Honor, there's a legitimate argument to make them the number 2 company right behind WWE. A lot of the WWE guys there have had a magnificent run through Ring of Honor, so they're definitely a place to watch. And they're local because Sinclair owns them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I knew it was like a real deal on TV, so that's pretty exciting. But I didn't know it was locally owned.
Yeah, they run on all Sinclair's channels nationwide. Comet TV.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. That's really cool. Also, let's see. We had we all went to Shogun Fights.
Yes.
That's Baltimore's local mixed martial arts event here. And we had press passes for that. We were all pretty excited to that. Really quick shout out to the Shogun Fights crew out there, John Rollo and Jamie Curtis with the arena. John Rollo and Jamie Curtis. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot to everybody out there at Shogun Fights who showed us a lot of love.
It was an amazing night. I can't say enough about that. That was a great experience. If you haven't gone, I highly suggest next time they do a show, check it out.
Let's see what else do we have here. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, at the Shogun Fights, we were able to meet a few interesting people here. We met C.J. Mosley, inside linebacker for the Ravens. We met Claudia Gadelha. She's the number 1 contender in the strawweight division for the women in the UFC.
Now wait, did we meet her or did you have a moment with her?
I actually had a moment with her. I told her I fell in love. We fell in love. I fell in love with Claudia Gadelha. She's an absolute sweetheart. If you follow me on Instagram, I have a picture of her. But yeah, we actually had a moment and we fell in love. So yeah, Claudia Gadelha, we love her. Jacoby Jones was there.
Jacoby Jones.
Yeah.
He got some booze.
Yeah, he got some booze. It was pretty weird. It was a weird episode. I think he was drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, he had something going on.
But in wrestling parlance, he played the heel. Once he got those boos, he played it up, and he talked back to the crowd, and I think he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, so that was really crazy. That was a really crazy moment.
Absolutely.
So, what stood out in your mind the most? But really quick, by the way, we have our page up now on Facebook. Just a Bit Outside Radio Show is available now on Facebook. Like our page, you can see some of the pictures, some of the really cool pictures that we took over the weekend. Mark, what as far as the overall experience, what kind of stood out to you at Shogun Fights?
Shogun, I think for like a local thing, John Rollo puts on a hell of a show. It's A+ class all the way. Mm-hmm. The stage, the music and the fog and the cage and everything was top notch. I think that's what amazed me the most. But just the whole night was a great experience. They had a little press area that we got to sit at. Great view of the cage. And if anyone was in our way, we could always look at the screen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an atmosphere that you got to be part of.
Yeah, we had really good seats. One of the fights, between Russell Campbell and Pete Petty's, that was a featherweight match. That was one of the main things that really stood out in my mind. That was a 3-round absolute brawling war. I think Pete Petty's of Crazy 88 Gym ended up winning that. Local gym.
Yeah.
I remember his pants started out white and they ended up pink by the end of the fight.
Yeah, the other guy, Campbell, he bled. I think he got gashed over the eye, or his cauliflower ear broke open.
Right.
It was like a faucet was just leaking all over the place.
Yeah, it was bad. And I think Pete's nose was bleeding as well, too.
Yeah.
Pretty badly.
But they went at it. Like, the first couple fights, they went all the way to decision. I think this one went to a decision, too, but especially that first fight, they kind of danced around. It reminded me of a Mayweather fight where they were afraid to touch each other. And I was like, come on, this is MMA. Kick him, hit him, something.
Right.
But yeah, that fight with Campbell and Pettier, wow, I mean, a war that just, like, it shook the building.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, the crowd stood up. They got standing ovation. Everybody was screaming. It was crazy. It was a really good fight. Check it out though, guys. When you hear about it, Shogun Fights, it was really exciting. There was a super heavyweight fight.
Yes.
That was really cool to watch, the super heavyweights. Ryan McGowan and Aubrey Collier. Ryan McGowan is the local guy from Baltimore. He trains at Ground Control. Now, we noticed a lot of the guys actually train at Ground Control Gym. John Rollo, the owner of Ground Control, he's actually the founder of Shogun Fights. So they funnel a lot of guys from their gyms into Shogun Fights, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah. And I forget what fight it was, but one of them had a Ground Control guy. And, a really nice moment where they had a whole bunch of the kids from Ground Control escort them out to the cage.
Yeah, that was Binky Jones.
Yeah.
Binky Jones, old school Baltimore fighter. Shout out to Binky. Shout out to Ground Control Gym. But Binky, he came out in a title match. Really exciting. It was a 145-pound title match. He lost, but Binky's getting up there in age. His nickname now was Father Time. But yeah, he's a coach there, so he coaches a lot of the kids. So what you're referring to when he during his walking out song, he had the kids from the gym walk out with him. They all had on the Ground Control shirts, ground Control jackets. So yeah, that was a really cool moment.
Definitely.
Another fight, what I was mentioning, the super heavyweight match, that was really crazy. That was a bizarre ending.
Yeah, which for me, the thing that really stood out about that was the weight of them.
Mm-hmm.
My main knowledge of mixed martial arts is UFC. Like a lot of people, I used to watch Strikeforce a lot, but that's super heavyweights. You don't see them compete so often. So I don't know. Is that the top division? And it's just no.
Actually, I've only seen you only see super heavyweights very seldomly.
But well, what I mean is like weight. Is there no other weight above that? So like
no, there's no weight above that.
Okay,
so heavyweight is the limit is at 265.
Okay,
and it's super heavyweight is 265 and above.
And above, because the weight difference between the two guys was just immense.
It's crazy. Yeah, they're both over 300, but you have one guy was like 313, the other guy was 380.
Well, his normal weight was 380. He weighed in at 400 even.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even hear that. Yep. So you have like an 80-something pound difference.
Yeah.
You're looking at these guys, and they both look huge, but that was actually an 80-pound difference. Yep. And the bigger guy actually lost. He came into the fight with a knee brace on. Ryan McGowan kicked him in the knee in the second round, went down like a sack of bricks.
Yeah, for a moment there, I thought maybe his leg broke because he was in pain.
The way he went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely in excruciating pain. But yeah, Shogun Fights, guys, check it out. It was really exciting. It was really cool. Thanks a lot to everybody there for providing passes for us to enjoy that. It was a
Definitely.
really cool event.
Now, I know that they said they were taping it for TV. I'm not sure when they air. Maybe we'll research that and let you guys know
and
when that is.
we'll let everybody know. Let's see, what else do we have? We have some Major League Baseball we're going to get into. The Orioles were the last undefeated team in Major League Baseball up until yesterday.
Yep.
Lost 7-3, lost to the Yankees.
In the ninth inning, it was 3-3.
Right,
The Yankees tied it in the eighth, and just wow.
Yeah, so that ends our homestand. Makes our record 4-1, so that's not bad.
Definitely. So far, they had that 2-game sweep against the Blue Jays to open the season. Then they took on the Yankees for 3. Next is Boston starting tomorrow night.
Right.
So they're clicking through the division quick.
Right, yeah, really fast. And we even play Tampa Bay within the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
So we're on a 9-game road trip, and then so we'll be on the away for a while. We had some UFC action this weekend, UFC 210, where we had light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. He fought and defeated Anthony Rumble Johnson, who was a personal favorite of mine. But Daniel Cormier, wrestler, traditional wrestler, took down Anthony Johnson and pounded him, and then ended up submitting him, rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had Chris Weidman, a former middleweight champion. He lost in a real bizarre match against Jagar Mousasi. Jagar Mousasi's a hardcore Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. He was kneeing Chris Weidman, and you can't knee a guy in the head. So Chris Weidman was trying to reach out for the ground. Jagar Mousasi caught him with a knee, and the ref stopped it.
Yeah. Doctor stopped it, I thought I read.
No, the ref stopped it to deduct a point from Mousasi. But yeah, we're gonna get into all of that stuff. So we have the UFC, we have some NFL stuff going on. Romo retired. To that, we're gonna get into the Masters golf tournament in Augusta, Georgia. We had the NCAA men's tournament last week, and UNC with a win over Gonzaga. I chose that final, and I chose the winner of that. I just want to say.
Bragging rights are all yours.
Right, so we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into some NBA action right after this quick break. Holla at us, guys.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do. Tell the world I see with an emoji to stop the bullies.
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Are you getting your kids this hoverboard thing that's taking over the country? They range from $300 to $600. They're blowing up. And then I mean literally blowing up. That one video, I thought that was going to be the one and only video that I saw in reference to it, and it wasn't. Now I can probably tell you about 10 to 15 videos of this happening, where this battery gets super, super hot and burns like holes into your tennis shoes.
Oh my.
And I know you would be pissed if you was wearing Jordans and you just paid all that money, you know, your lights are off. And
especially if they're from China.
Your lights off.
Check out the Talk Lately show every Tuesday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on Be Exposed Radio. BigExposedRadio.com.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. In the building, we have live Mr. Michael Ryder. There we go. And Mr. Steve Yarn. They're doing a partnership based on... what was it again? The stories of the Vulcan Blazers. An awesome production that they have coming up. And now the name of it will be called Baltimore Heat. There we go. They were telling us a little bit about, they're in the pre-production phase of developing this Baltimore-based production. It seems like a really awesome idea. And I always love for more artistic events to come here, and because it's more of an event because you guys are going to actually use Baltimore as your complete backdrop of the city, and that's very awesome to hear.
Yeah, we want people to fall in love with this project through the visions and the tales we're going to tell about.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Be Exposed Radio, just a bit outside radio show. Once again, I'm your host, James. This is my man, Mark here. Keisha is traveling the world in Hong Kong, so holla at you, Keisha.
Good morning.
Good morning. Anytime, guys, give us a call, 410-702-5657. Tell us what's on your mind. Drop us a note on YouTube or Facebook Live. Tell us what's on your mind as the show is going. We're going to get into next Mark with The Real on Wrestling.
Like I said, Saturday I went to the Ring of Honor show, got to talk to a few of the wrestlers, and we're going to play an interview now that... the wrestler's name is Will Ferreira. He's not the biggest name. He's only been doing it a couple years. But I really enjoyed talking to Will. He wasn't trying to play a character. He was just, we were just talking.
Yeah.
And, he seemed really genuine. So I was really happy with this interview.
Yeah, I heard the interview, and it was really cool.
Did you?
Yeah. It was pretty cool. So we ready?
Yeah.
All right. Cue up the interview.
And I'm sitting here with Will Ferreira of Ring of Honor Wrestling. Very nice to meet you.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, it's great. Ring of Honor's been around 15 years now. Last month was the 15th anniversary show. For those of our listeners who aren't familiar with the product or with yourself, how long have you been with the company?
About 4 years now. You know, around 2013, 2014, I've been started coming, but I guess I really burst on the scene in 2015, Top Prospect Tournament, early on in that year.
The Top Prospect Tournament, I think it's been 4 years now that they've been doing it?
I believe so, 4 or 5.
And it's to bring the talent that maybe haven't had that exposure into the limelight. And since you've been in that tournament, how would you say your wrestling life has changed?
Oh, drastically. You know, I guess from the perspective of just a top prospect, just being in the ring with the ROH roster guys was a whole another step. But now after mixing up with them for a few years, I'm getting more comfortable, and my stock is raised as an athlete, as a performer. So, you know, I just want to continue to raise that, because I know all the top ROH guys, their stock has continued to raise. So it's more or less, there was a transition stage of, oh, wow, I'm here, and now it's, nah, I'm here, this is my job, time to go to work, you know?
That's exactly what I was gonna say too. Is like there was a moment that you had where you just said, wow.
Yeah, like when you go out of that stage, especially like shows like last, we had the Supercard of Honor in Florida, our biggest show in Lakeland, and that was just sold out all the way top. So it's like, it's a crazy sight when you're used to wrestling in smaller indie shows and you walk out stage for a big ROH show. It's a big difference. It's like overwhelming at first, you know?
And the production value, it's totally different from anything. It's next level. The TV production, the cameras and everything. For you, what was the biggest adjustment to that?
Well, I know that cameras, it was a huge adjustment to know where the cameras are and stuff like that, but I think the crowd was actually the biggest adjustment, because the crowd is very unforgivable in Ring of Honor. You know, there's a certain standard that comes with the wrestling in Ring of Honor, and if they don't get anything if they get anything below that standard, they'll let you know real quick, and they won't be happy. So you got to continuously, whether it's house show, TV, pay-per-view, put on the performance of your lifetime, you know, each time you go out there, because that's what the fans want. That's what Ring of Honor has done for the past 15 years and will continue to do, because we gave it to them, and now that's what they expect coming to a Ring of Honor show.
Definitely. And you said that, and I think back to the 90s and ECW, and the fans were very unforgiving there. And it really seems like Ring of Honor, the fans, while they're unforgiving, they're passionate too. And they've given some of the really huge superstars that have come through a really hard time. And have you experienced that yourself, you think?
Sometimes, you know, there are times early on where I guess people would be unfamiliar with who I am, and the guys that you would think they'd be going against, they'd start cheering for, but you know, it's unpredictable. There's it's a certain nature to it. You know, I kind of like that, because whether they are not on my side during the beginning of the match, it doesn't matter to me. My goal is to get them to know who I am by the end of that match, and to get them to, wow, that was good. You know, I want to see that again.
Definitely. And just for our listeners, can you give a little bit about yourself, where you've been, as far as, you know, a lot of guys, they go through Japan and Mexico.
Yeah, well, I started, you know, Brooklyn, New York, real young, like 15 years old, 14, under Johnny Rods. He was like the Gleason's gym there. And, you know, it was fine. I got my foundation there. I eventually did the Taz Dojo, and that was awesome. Like, that really put a good perspective of this is a wrestling business. This is how to excel, like, you know, professionalism that comes with it, what you gotta do to hold up your end of the bargain, you know. And then since then, I've been training under Delirious at the Ring of Honor dojo since I did my first camp in 2012, and that's been one hell of an experience. That kind of really, like, you know, fixed all the things that was wrong with me, so to speak, you know, going in, and it really kind of set my head straight and made me understand and really get it for the first time, you know.
Definitely. I've actually met Taz, and the thing I find intriguing about him is, while he's short in stature, he scares the hell out of you.
I remember the first Taz Dojo day, I typed in the address wrong going in, so I was the only guy that was late, and I just remember he answers the door, and I was just like, I was scared, because I thought, you know, he was gonna kill me for being late, but he was nice, you know, and he helped me so much in my career. You know, we don't talk as much as we used to, but every time we get, he's always like, you know, wishing me well. I wish him well. I know he has the Taz show every day, you know, on Monday through Friday, so that's keeping him busy. That's awesome for him. You know, I listen to that. It's cool, and yeah, he's scary, but he's not as mean as he would seem, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, he's intimidating, but he's like you said, professional and nice. For you, Will, what would you say is your next step here in Ring of Honor?
Ooh, well, I need that big win, you know. I think the Ring of Honor fan base are familiar with who I am, but I haven't showed them all I could do yet. I'm waiting to break up to that next threshold, that next tier, if you were to say, on the roster. And, you know, I know it doesn't come overnight. Every match I have, I'm looking at maybe this is the opportunity that I'll have to break through, and I'm just taking it match by match. You know, I'm here for a long time. I don't plan on going anywhere else. I want to cement a legacy in Ring of Honor first before I do anything, just because they're the ones that helped myself build up to what I am today.
That sounds great. I know you're busy. I don't want to take too much of your time, but thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, man. Pleasure.
Absolutely.
You're listening to the station with their ear to the streets. BeExposedRadio.com.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child, and believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Just a Bit Outside with James and Mark here. Okay, so we just did our interview with Mark and
Will Ferreira.
Okay, from Ring of Honor Wrestling. That was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting interview to get an insight, like an inside view into wrestling like that.
And like I said, like he was genuine. He wasn't trying to play a character when we were talking, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, so he was straight up, and that was really cool. I think when I was listening to the interview, what struck me was that from the moment that it started, he was just regular person mode, and not all in the character. So that was really cool.
Yeah, which one of the other guys I interviewed, like the first thing he was boom in character. I was like, oh, dude, come on, let me get something personal.
Right.
Yeah, but I want to thank Will and Ring of Honor for allowing me to do that interview, and I really appreciate it. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I think we want to talk some UFC now.
Yeah, we're gonna get into some UFC. Be on the lookout for some more of those interviews, though, right?
Yes.
On our Facebook page, we're gonna try to drop some on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
I might try to chop them up and play them in the next couple weeks too on the air. We'll see. One of them runs pretty long, but I really like it, so we'll see.
Cool. All right, yeah, we're gonna get into some UFC stuff. We had UFC 210 over the weekend. Daniel Cormier beat up my man Anthony Pettis. Anthony Johnson, Anthony Rumble Johnson. Rumble Johnson used to fight as a welterweight. Now he's a light heavyweight. So he used to fight at 170 in the beginning of his career. Now he fights at 205. And I'm not sure if you knew that.
No.
Yeah, he was a welterweight. And there was always talk, man, this guy walks around over 200 pounds. Why doesn't he just go up and weight? And it's weird because he didn't go to middleweight, which is 185. He went straight to light heavyweight. And Anthony Johnson, he's still known as, even though he jumped 2 weight classes, he's known to be a guy with really good hands, really heavy hands. He knocks guys out.
Now you said he now fights at the 205.
205 now.
But now he doesn't fight anymore.
Exactly. Right. Interesting you said that. Anthony Johnson retired at the end of the fight. But he was being pretty cagey during the interview. They were asking him what are his other plans, and he was just saying stay tuned. So I guess he's going to have some things in store. Shout out to Anthony Johnson. You did your thing, man. Great fighter during his career. He definitely gave us some good fights. It would have been interesting to see he and John Jones in a matchup.
Yeah.
But that never came to fruition. But that would have been really cool to see. Him being one of the top 4 guys in the past few years in the light heavyweight division. The other 3 being John Jones, Gustafsson, and Daniel Cormier, in my opinion. But yeah, it's as a fan, sad to see a guy of that stature retire, you know. And like I said, I want to see. Eventually, I'm hoping John Jones will come back, and was looking forward to a matchup between the two of them once he came back and reclaimed his belt from Cormier, of course. So Anthony Johnson loses in the second round to Daniel Cormier. Thiago Alves and Patrick Catay, they also fought. Both of these guys are UFC veterans. Thiago Alves, that was a pretty good fight too. Three rounds and went to complete 3 rounds. Unanimous decision. So shout out to Thiago Alves. He's been in the game for a while. He and Patrick Cote, like I mentioned, that was a really good fight. Another fight that happened that same week, same evening. Chris Weidman and Gegard Mousasi. Weidman is a former middleweight champion. He defeated Anderson Silva in those 2 weirdo fights. Okay, now he lost in a fight to Gegard Mousasi. We kind of got into that earlier. So there's a rule in the UFC that you can't knee or kick a guy when he's down, quote unquote down. Chris Weidman apparently was taking advantage of this rule. As Gegard Mousasi's kneeing him in the head, he reaches his hands out to touch the ground so he can be considered a grounded fighter. What do you think about that kind of tactic?
That's just man. I'll be honest. Like Sunday, I was kind of worn out from my Saturday, so I looked up the results of 210, but I haven't really watched any videos. But that's just it's strategy, and I can appreciate strategy, but that's just without mincing words, that's a bitch move. That
was a bitch move, right?
Yeah.
But I guess you're in a fight, try to take advantage of as most as you can. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shout out Eric. Shout out to our engineer back there, Eric, up on top of the music and the sounds for us. But yeah, that was a pretty big bitch move there. But I guess, like I said, you're in a fight, try to take advantage of whatever you can. Chris Weidman reaches his hands out and becomes a grounded fighter. Mousasi knees him in the head. The referee comes over, pauses the fight to take a point away from Mousasi. As he's taking a point away, the judges are watching this in replay. Now, mind you, there isn't supposed to be any replay in mixed martial arts yet. This hasn't been established yet. Huh? So the judges see this on... Oh, my God. So the judges see this on replay that Chris Weidman's hands weren't on the ground when Mousasi kneed him. go back to the referee and tell him that his hands weren't on the ground. They try to continue the fight. The knees rocked Weidman's world. So he's still reeling from these shots, right? He stands up and he can't stand. He can't stand in a strong fighting stance. The ref looks at him. They bring in the doctors. Fight's over. At first, it would have been a no contest because of illegal knees. But because, I guess in the ref's hindsight, because the judges, through this mysterious replay that we're not supposed to have in the UFC, he corrects his mistake. And then, so it becomes a win for Mousasi.
Wow. For Dana White, what do you think he can do? Like you said, there's no replay in UFC, so does Dana White come out and say that the win's basically expunged?
I think as far as management of the UFC, the results are actually run independently from the local gaming commission.
Mm-hmm.
So once the judges make their decision, there's nothing that the UFC can do about it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you'll actually see in some close fights or weird fights that go one way or another, where everybody thinks it could have gone one way, but the judges scored a different way. I've actually seen Dana White come out and say he thinks the other guy should have won, but there's actually nothing that they can do about it.
We saw that Saturday at Shogun. There's fights that you thought would go one way, and it just
and it happens a lot. There's a big saying, huge saying in mixed martial arts. They say never leave it in the judge's hands.
Yep. So
if you want to determine your own fight, man, put your guy out, submit or knockout. You know.
Well, that's. I'll say. Actually, I remember telling someone this once. In mixed martial arts, I will always take someone that can submit someone, as opposed to a brawler or a fighter. Yeah, because if you can make someone tap out, it's obviously an advantage.
Right.
Submission specialist.
Yeah. So. Okay, yeah, I guess we can get into that kind of debate right now. And that's actually what started and helped shape the UFC. The UFC founded by the Gracie family in the early 90s. They wanted to showcase their fighting style, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The youngest brother at the time, Royce Gracie, they chose the smallest, the youngest guy to prove their point that their ground fighting style was superior. He ends up winning the first two, and then the fourth one, the third one, I think he broke his arm or something like that. But yeah, and what it does, you're putting guys in uncomfortable positions. You're putting them in places that they aren't used to.
Yeah.
So for a while that was effective, and everybody was looking, oh my God, I need to learn this fighting style, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
But now everybody's learning it. And everybody's become well-rounded, and then even in America where you have wrestling, that's pretty much our American martial arts are pretty much boxing and wrestling. It's still comparable, but it doesn't take it as far as those submissions, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, if you're interested in training or learning mixed martial arts, getting a really good ground game is definitely a huge part of it.
You had mentioned earlier that the rule of not striking someone kicks or knees when they're down, and I understand the UFC does that kind of thing for safety. But I remember back when UFC was like on pay-per-view number 6,
right?
You know, there was like no rules. You could kick them when they're down. You could knee them in the face, elbow them in the face, and they don't even use elbows now.
Right.
It's the forearm. But if you use an elbow, a point.
Right, it's a certain way you can't strike straight up and down, but you can throw it that way when the guy's down on the ground. Right, and some of the other promotions, I remember Pride and some of the other promotions, you could actually kick a guy in the head. They call it soccer kick, soccer style kick. Guys laying on the ground, kick them in the head. That's pretty brutal, though, man. I could see the reasons for taking that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, but there's something to say about it. Like, if they're in there to fight,
the way they promote it is this is the closest that you can get to a real street fight, no holds barred, no rules. So why not allow some of that stuff, right? Yeah, in the beginning, there was just a gentleman's agreement of no groin shots, no eye gouging, and no hair pulling.
Yep.
Those were the first rules, and that was it.
And that was back when, like, Mark Coleman was there.
Right.
You know, these guys were out of shape, but they were brutal.
Yeah. And there were no rounds.
Yeah.
They just went at it for 20 minutes straight. That was crazy. But then they slowly developed their rules. They wanted to become, legitimized, and then developed the weight classes. And now they have commissions, just like the boxing commissions.
Well, like you said, the Gracies started it, but when the Fertitta brothers bought it, they had that vision of taking it worldwide. And like I said, I understand the rules. It's for safety and everything. And it's something they had to do if they wanted to realize their vision.
Right. And of course, we're the fans, so we want to see the craziest fights.
Like all the blood we saw on Saturday.
Right.
That was just brutal.
Yeah. That stuff was crazy, man. It was some really good fights. Very interesting. Let's see. Just some info to kind of introduce some of our crowd who aren't familiar with the UFC, to introduce you to some of the fighters and what's going on with some of those weight classes. I'm going to give you a rundown of some of the champions here, a little background. Demetrius Johnson for the men's flyweight division. He's a long-standing champion. He's world number one now that John Jones is kind of out of the picture. As long as Bones Jones was in the picture, he was perennial number two. So Demetrius Johnson, they call him Mighty Mouse. He's the guy that's been doing it for a while. Dominic Cruz, or actually Cody Garbrandt, just defeated Dominic Cruz a couple of months ago to win the bantamweight division. Cody Garbrandt trains with Alpha Male, Uriah Faber's crew. Featherweight division, Jose Aldo is the champ now. That's kind of controversial because he lost to Conor McGregor. But McGregor, after defeating Jose Aldo and winning the featherweight title, he moved up in weight classes and hasn't gone back to fight yet. So he kind of vacated that championship. Jose Aldo was a long-term champion before he lost to Conor McGregor. Then, of course, in the lightweight division, you have the man himself, Conor McGregor. We'll get into him, I guess, in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And his aspirations in fighting Floyd Mayweather. So Conor McGregor, he feels like he's a guy that's bigger than the UFC. What do you think about a guy like that coming in? And he said, we didn't come to take part, we came to take over. What do you think about his brashness? A guy coming and taking the UFC by storm as quickly as he has.
The dude's a promoter. He knows his brand. He knows how to get his name out there. I mean, obviously, all the talk about the fight with Mayweather.
Right.
He's being discussed on SportsCenter probably even more than the UFC itself is.
Right.
So he like I said, he's a promoter. There in any athlete is some ego, so I'm positive he believes just a little bit of his own BS.
Right.
But like I said, every athlete has that. But I think it's smart marketing on his part.
Right. He did have that one loss to Nate Diaz, and as a fighter, as an undefeated fighter, a loss like that can really mess with your psyche. So he was able to come back and defeat him in the second fight.
I don't like the Diaz brothers either.
You don't?
Pissed at.
Oh, I love the Diaz brothers. Oh, shots fired. That hurt. That one hurt. I love the Diaz. Shout out to Nate and Nick Diaz, man. They are some tough guys, man. Nick Diaz, Strikeforce, welterweight champion for a while. Nate Diaz, younger brother, fights at welterweight, lightweight in the UFC. We're getting more into the UFC. We have to go to commercial, pay some bills for a little bit. So stick with us, everybody. We'll be right back with some more UFC talk.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew.
Wait, Mom, what?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back. Welcome back, everybody, with Just a Bit Outside, BeExposedRadio.com. Again, everyone, call us in anytime. Our phone number is 410-702-5657. I know we had a phone caller during our interview while our interview was playing, but please give us a call back if you're still out there. Give us a call back. Also, give us a shout out. Let us know what's on your mind on YouTube and Facebook. We're following along on all of them, guys. Show us some love. So we thought that we were playing our music last week. We had some technical difficulties. Shout out to my man DJ Delight with Sound Productions providing the beat for that. We have some really cool things happening for us. Building up steam with the show. Once again, that's my man DJ Delight with Sound Productions. He does, shows, weddings, special events, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, engagements. What's the new thing? Baby reveals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He does all that. Produces music. If anybody's interested, we're going to showcase some of that music as time goes with the show. So DJ Delight for Sound Productions. If anybody's interested, contact us and we'll get you connected. But yeah, once again, just a bit outside, 410-702-5657. Give us a shout out on YouTube. Give us a shout out on Facebook. All right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let us know what's on your mind. So anyway, we were kind of...
I think when we left off, we were having a little disagreement about the Diaz boys.
Oh, yeah, man. You don't like Nick and Nate.
I've always found them really cocky and arrogant, which I guess is any athlete, but they're just like especially so.
Yeah.
And what I go back to is before Conor McGregor was his promoter.
Right.
Jason Mayhem Miller was cut of the same cloth. And a couple years back, he jumped in the Strikeforce cage after, what's his name? Shields. Jake Shields had a successful title defense, and he was going to, just kind of jawed him about a rematch. And the Diaz dudes, they jumped in there and started beating his ass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're teammates with Jake Shields. I get it. They were supporting their boy, but, did they really think he was going to, Mayhem was going to beat him down after he fought?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But Mayhem Miller, I saw him get his ass whipped in a fight. That guy had a lot of mouth.
Yeah, a lot of mouth. I mean, he had the talent, but he had his own issues too.
Yeah, he definitely had some issues. But yeah, we have a caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Hey,
what's up,
sounds like Keish.
I'm watching y'all, man. Did y'all talk about baseball yet? I just signed on.
No, actually, we just touched on the Orioles and baseball a little bit. We're going to get into them a little bit later. We're kind of sitting here. We kind of like this convo that we have right now about the UFC. We're talking about the UFC. We're talking about our champions. We're kind of in the middle of talking about our champs. So I mentioned Conor McGregor and him vacating the featherweight belt so he could stay on the lightweight belt. And, of course, Mark had to mention my man Nate Diaz. And Mark said he doesn't like Nate Diaz, Keish.
Oh. What's up, Mark?
Hey, how's it going? Good morning.
All right. Yeah, right. It's like morning time here.
Right.
Look, I'm going to keep watching. I see you.
Hey, Keish, so you called us. Did you have anything to say about the Orioles? You called in ready to talk some baseball, huh?
Yeah. I was going to say I can call back when y'all get to the baseball portion of the show.
Okay. You can if you want. Yeah. Definitely call back later when we get into baseball. Or you can just tell us what's on your mind right now. Hey,
I'll
really
call
quick.
back. You guys are doing a great job, yo.
Well, thanks a lot. How's the trip going? How was the flight?
It's going great. It's wild out here. I'll tell you guys all about it when I get back.
Yeah, it's wild. So Hong Kong, that's like the Vegas of Asia, right?
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Oh. Yep, pretty
You
much.
see some craziness?
Got some stories already.
Already?
Yep. Woke up.
You haven't even been there a whole day yet.
Right. It's 6 o'clock. It was about 6:30 in the morning here when I woke up, and there were like two pretty inebriated young ladies that were like at the entrance of the hotel.
Oh wow!
Like passed out.
Just passed out.
Yeah.
Laid
like,
out.
People were like drunk walking around at 6 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I'll tell you guys more about that later on.
Oh man! But hey, wow!
I'll call back.
I guess
what
goes
back,
on.
I want to know what happened on Sunday. I didn't get to watch the game.
Say it again.
I said I want to call back because I want to know what happened on Sunday. I didn't get to watch the game.
Oh yeah, we lost. So we were the last undefeated team in baseball. So now we're 4-1. Still number one in the division though, Keith. So yeah, we know.
Cool. All right, well, I'll call back when you get to the baseball portion.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, holler back at us. Yeah, thanks a lot, Keish. Awesome. Thanks for calling in. But yeah, definitely call back and during the baseball segment.
You got it. All right.
Love you, baby. Bye.
Peace.
Well, that was pretty cool, Mark.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Talking half the world around away.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. Well, we were going to move on a little bit more with this UFC discussion. We still have some Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather debate going here. Let's see. We still have some NFL action. Ravens making some moves. Yeah. Romo retiring. We have the Masters to talk about. Sergio Garcia wins his first Masters. We're going to talk about the NCAA title game.
NHL playoffs start.
NHL playoffs is starting. Right. It coincides with NBA playoffs. Good segue, Mark. Boom. Give me some. NBA playoffs are about to happen. We're going to get into some of that. Russell Westbrook's 42nd triple-double. Right after this break, guys. Holla at us.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
This is the reality of the world that we're living in. A lot of young people don't have the information that is necessary to have healthy lives. And a lot of the organizations that are geared towards young people don't have individuals that are going to be as honest as this gentleman.
One of the issues that I have with this quote unquote Christian nation that we live in is that
not just the Christians,
religion allows you to live in denial, but the world does not live in denial. So who are you helping?
I got drunk one night. This is the night that I put my head through the window and everything. So.
Why would you do that?
Now, I was sitting on the floor.
All these stories always involve alcohol.
They do. I was sitting on the floor, and my drink of choice back then was vodka and orange juice. It's still my drink of choice, but I don't drink it as much.
I was a 151 kid, straight up.
I love vodka, especially when it was...
that rubbing alcohol. What brand?
Back then I was hooked on Absolute.
That was the best at the time.
And Pinnacle was like number 2 and stuff like that.
Because they didn't have what's the new one that came out? Yeah, what was the new one?
Ciroc, vodka, and
the other one. Who is real smooth? New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam came out, and it was so.
And Grey Goose. Grey Goose was out at that time too.
I didn't drink. I told you 151. That was my drink.
Yeah, Grey Goose vodka was one of the ones because I love the bottle.
Because you can light it on fire.
The bottle. The bottle was hot. It was that shaded, that shaved glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was sitting on the floor, and we was talking about something I don't even remember what we were talking about. All I know is I was bust out laughing. I got ching-ling, ling, 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 glass everywhere. I wouldn't cut it all though. I had to.
Because you had your bun.
Actually, I didn't. I ain't have any hair back then.
Oh.
I don't remember. I don't think I did.
And you ain't cut your hair?
Nope. I was just fine. I was like, oh, your glass broken. It was winter, dead of winter.
Check more of these funny moments out when you tune into BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to Just a Bit Outside. So we were kind of getting more in depth into the UFC, the champions, and the standings. We had a nice little phone visit from Keisha. Hopefully, she'll give us a little call back a little later on when we get into our Major League Baseball talk. So yeah, we were kind of talking about Conor McGregor, him holding 2 belts, first person to ever hold 2 belts at the same time. Actually, he defeated Jose Aldo for the featherweight belt, and then he beat Rafael dos Anjos for the lightweight belt. So now he holds 2, but he hadn't had a featherweight belt, featherweight fight in so long. They forced him to vacate it. So, Conor McGregor, lightweight champion at 155. Tyron Woodley, UFC veteran. He's on UFC on Fox TV show as an analyst. He's been putting in a lot of work. Tyron Woodley, so he's the champion at welterweight 170. So it's good to see a guy like that finally get some burn. He recently had a really good fight against Stephen Thompson. I'm not sure if you saw or heard about that.
No.
Yeah, Stephen Thompson's like this karate expert, really good with his feet. He can kick you, and you will have no idea where the kick is coming from. So he knocks dudes out, touches dudes with his feet, touches you with his feet, and you're gone. They had a really good battle. Tyron Woodley, he actually beat Robbie Lawler. Knocked Robbie Lawler out to get that belt. Yeah, he's a wrestler. Like I said, in America, you know, our martial arts, wrestling and boxing. So he's a wrestler, boxer guy. Yeah, pretty good fighter. Nice guy too. Middleweight, another vet, Michael Bisping. I think he has the record now for most UFC fights.
Really?
Yeah, so he's been doing it for well over 10 years, I believe now. Okay. Michael Bisping from the UK. A lot of guys have trained with him, and he's bounced around to a lot of different gyms. So it's good to see him, a guy like Michael Bisping, get a belt. Middleweight champion. That belt's kind of bounced around a little bit. Anderson Silva had it. Chris Weidman. So now I think Yoel Romero, a guy from Brazil. Yoel is from Cuba. He's a wrestler from Cuba. He's the number one contender. Michael Bisping is the champ, middleweight division. We have
Dana White. He actually said Bisping might have a certain someone to fight this year that is returning to the UFC.
That's right. We have GSP, George St. Pierre, right?
Yeah, he hasn't fought there in like 4 years.
4 years, yeah, something like that. Coming off of a pretty long break. Supposedly he retired, but now I don't know. What is it? Money, fame?
It's been so long. Like I said, 4 years. I thought he had a beef with either Dana himself or the UFC in general, and that's why he just left.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like now that they're under new management.
Yeah,
he's coming back. I know he said, and reading some interviews from when he first retired. You know, of course, I'm over here trying to start some controversy, but of course, to kind of clarify things, when he first retired, he did say that he had some issues with the way that they were handling some of the drug testing. I know a lot of the guys were taking testosterone replacement therapy and getting excuses to be able to use testosterone replacement.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know. I think that's an unfair advantage. So eventually they cut it out. You're not allowed steroids under the guise of getting testosterone therapy. So
I think that's one of the sayings for any bodybuilding, wrestling, UFC is it's legal if it's not illegal if it's legal, and you can use it until it is illegal.
Right, yeah.
So just use whatever will help you until they finally ban
it. Until it becomes illegal, right? Until they can catch up to it.
Yeah.
That's the way it always happens. The governing bodies are always trying to catch up to everything happening. Let's see, at light heavyweight, we have Daniel Cormier, who just had his fight with Anthony Johnson, who just retired. He's the champion there. We're looking to see John Jones, I guess, come back sometime soon. We're not sure if he's going to step up to heavyweight or come back to light heavyweight. So the light heavyweight picture is kind of interesting right now. At heavyweight in the men's division, we have Stipe Miocic, who actually just defeated Fabricio Verdun. So that's pretty interesting. I know coming up, there's a fight. He's going to fight Dos Santos. Miocic is going to fight Junior Dos Santos. Dos Santos is a Brazilian boxer known for his really good hands. Knockout artist.
Former champion.
Former champion.
Wasn't he the one that beat Brock?
Did he beat Brock or did he beat? Yeah, he did. No. I think he beat. What's the guy's name? Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, Velasquez.
Right.
Velasquez
beat Brock.
And then Dos Santos took him out in the first title defense.
Right. Yeah. He had some wars with Cain Velasquez, man. They had some really good fights. So shout out to Junior Dos Santos, Stipe Miocic, American heavyweight champion. In our women's division, we have Joanna Jędrzejczyk from Poland. She's a really good fighter. She's been a kickboxer for a long time. She was very good, had a very good, outstanding kickboxing record. So that's her specialty, kickboxing. She's very sharp fighter. I've seen a lot of her fights. She's really good. I follow her on Instagram.
Okay. And that's one of the things I really miss about the current UFC is there's not as much kicks and kickboxing as it used to be.
Right.
And you look at the old Pride FC and they incorporated a lot of kicks.
Yeah. And I feel like in days past where you still had stylistic fighters, I feel like nowadays everybody's just everything rolled up into one.
Yeah.
Where back in the day, even just a few years ago, you had your Muay Thai guys with the more Muay Thai kind of stance, your boxers, and then your wrestlers, and each stance was kind of different.
Yep.
Now things are becoming more universal. Yeah.
Watered down?
I think, I don't know, because then that kind of goes into our whole debate that we're going to get into with boxing versus MMA, where maybe you are watering down the styles to mix them all into this specific fighter that you want to be. Should you become the most well-rounded fighter possible, or should you learn one thing really, really good?
Focus on one style.
Yeah, that's the way that you say be really good at one thing, know that in and out, and then just kind of learn other things.
Like way back when in the early days, you knew if like Dan Severn was going to mix it up with bring up Mark Coleman again or Ken Shamrock, you knew their styles were so different, and it was going to be a hell of a fight.
Right. I feel like that kind of revolution is happening right now in the women's division, where you have somebody like Ronda Rousey, who was judo champion for years. She came in with her judo style, and they couldn't figure it out. And now you have these more well-rounded fighters like Amanda Nunes coming in just whooping everybody's ass. Holly Holm is a traditional kickboxer against the grappling of Ronda Rousey. She really shined with her kickboxing style, took advantage, put Ronda Rousey in some uncomfortable positions and knocked her out in that fight.
Do you think Ronda was on her A game that night?
I think Ronda was outclassed that night. I don't know if I would say not on her A game. I think she was on her A game. I think Holly Holm, with her boxing expertise, I think she just showed a lot of holes that Ronda had in her game. Okay. And then the fight that she just had with Amanda Nunes, Amanda's an absolute beast. Kickboxing beast, and she's from Brazil, so she has the Brazilian jiu-jitsu background. I actually see this chick like not losing. I don't see her losing. Amanda Nunes, the 135-pound champion, I don't see her losing for a long time.
kind of the streak Ronda Rousey had for quite a while.
Yeah, yeah.
And Ronda never got out of the first round for the longest
time.
Yeah,
for a long time. Yeah. And Amanda Nunes, she actually has a loss. I think it's Kat Zingano that she lost to, but she's developed. She's been developing as a fighter, and she's pretty she's pretty well rounded now. Some upcoming UFC fights that we have here. May 28th, we have Alexander Gustafsson against Glover Teixeira. That's going to put some things in the light heavyweight division into the picture, kind of clarify some things going on there. Gustafsson, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Anthony Johnson, the four of those guys beat the hell out of each other for years. So that's going to be definitely a good fight. May 13th, UFC 211, Stipe Miocic, Junior Dos Santos. You just kind of mentioned that.
Yeah.
The UFC is trying to put together a fight with GSP, George St. Pierre, who just came back, longtime champion of the welterweight division. They're trying to set up a fight with he and Michael Bisping, right, in the middleweight division. And a lot of people feel like George St. Pierre doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve a championship fight. As soon as he comes back, being gone for 4 years, boom, championship fight, first thing. What do you think about that?
There was a time that George St. Pierre was easily the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet.
Right.
He's been out 4 years. He's 36 or so now. Definitely not getting any younger. I like it. Throw him in a title match. Dude left at the top of his game before. I am kind of surprised that they're hinting towards this. I thought maybe they'd put like him against the. I mean, not to say Bisping isn't a name. He's obviously a name.
Right.
But go more for like a dream match kind of thing. And then if he wins it, then throw him against.
Yeah,
Bisping.
for years they were trying to set up a fight between George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool to see something like that happen. So yeah, Michael Bisping fighting George St. Pierre. And then of course we have Conor McGregor is trying to set up a fight with Floyd Mayweather going on here.
I equate this to Mayweather Pacquiao. They've been talking about it for so long now.
Yeah.
When it finally happens, is anyone going to care?
Right. And then you throw in, with all of the talks, the negotiations, you have the whole element of the UFC there looming in the background. It's like with them, that kind of complicates everything. It's not just a boxing match. Then is it going to be a UFC event if they get involved with this boxing match, or is it going to be like other boxing fights?
The last I read, McGregor was training for boxing.
Oh, actually, hold on for a second. We have to go to break.
Okay.
I'm going to pause you right there. We're going to take a break, everybody, and we'll be right back after this break.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org.
He was chilling. He was doing his thing. Y'all, you feel me? Love y'all family. You know what I'm saying? And like, for him to be taken away from you, snatched away from you, just like that. You feel me? It's like damn. Another good one gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you taking the good? You know what I'm saying?
You always end up asking, like, why?
And that's and like again, it's a lesson that it's a test of faith. You feel me? Gonna take you through these tests. You feel me? You're gonna go through these little phases in life, yo. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just gotta recognize that one, it's the adversary trying to knock you off your pivot, and then it's God trying to teach you something. You feel me? Right. Anything that you go through, you gonna get through. It's called going through. You feel me? That's why it's called going through. You going through something. Right. You feel me? Because after you go through it, you get through it. You look back on like, damn, I got that. You feel what I'm saying?
For this and more, be sure to tune into BeExposedRadio.com every Friday from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. to listen to more of It Is What It Is radio show.
Sensual Aromas, where you get 100% all-natural health care products. From herbal treatments for skin conditions and internal cleansing for the body, Sensual Aromas has what you're looking for. There are $25 natural cleansers, $15 natural body detoxes. There's also a special going on now. For $12, you can get 5 lip balms, and for $8, you can get 2 of our whipped scented shea butters. For coupons on our services, go to breakthetradition.com. For more products and information, go to sensualaromas.com.
Hi, I'm Ashley Matthews. With each individual sale, there will be a donation made to fighting cancer naturally. Research without radiation. Let's break away from the old traditions.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Just a Bit Outside radio show for BeExposedRadio.com. Once again, I am your host for today, James Alexander, with my man Mark Foster. Keisha, our usual host, is halfway on the other side of the planet right now, hopefully following along, and will call back in a few. She just called us a little bit ago. Hopefully she'll call back.
She was ready to talk some baseball.
Right. Yeah, talk some baseball. We're going to continue this UFC conversation here. At any time, give us a call, 410-702-5657. Really quick, some shout-outs here. We have D Magic. Keisha's following along. My man Dean Fasansi. I see you guys. Thanks a lot for supporting. Aunt Wilma, love you, sweetheart. Thanks for supporting. So to get back into this UFC combo here, Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Now, a lot of people as fans were like, get the fight going. I want to see the fight. Get it going. But with a fight like this, where Conor McGregor kind of belongs to another promotion, he's not his own boxer. Mm-hmm. Or even a boxer with a different promoter. He's like, and it has a whole nother entity that owns the rights to him.
Yep.
So questions like, how would the event go? I can't see the UFC missing out on a big money opportunity like this.
The last I recall was that McGregor is training for boxing and planning on applying for a boxing license.
Right.
So
he did apply for it, and he did get his boxing license.
So it's looking like it's going to be a boxing match, but the UFC is going to promote it, from what I understand.
Right.
One of the huge sticking points for the longest time was Mayweather and money. He's used to boxing money.
Right.
And he wanted like $150 million for the fight.
Right, because he promotes his own fights.
Yep.
So he's the promoter. He's the guy that actually pays for the venue, pays for the HBO pay-per-view. He fronts all the money. So that's the reason why he's able to make $100 million plus at these events.
Yep.
But
the UFC, I believe, is now offering $15 million
for Floyd Mayweather.
For each of them. Yeah.
Oh, for each of them.
And Dana White seems pretty optimistic that it's going to happen.
Now, that seems like that's good numbers for Conor McGregor, but that would seem like something that a Floyd Mayweather would kind of scoff at.
It does, But I will say, about 9 years ago, Floyd Mayweather. Damn, sorry guys. He actually took part in WrestleMania, which this year's edition just passed last week.
It was like the Big Show.
The Big Show, yeah, and they fought. Mayweather knocked him out, so he kept his undefeated streak.
Right.
But if they could make a deal, which Mayweather is a huge wrestling fan, so I think he wanted to be in there.
Right.
But if they could work out a deal, I'm positive Dana White could work out the deal.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. I'd like to see that happen. If a matchup like that happens, what kind of advantages for each guy do you kind of see, and what kind of outcome do you see happening from something like that?
I think Conor McGregor would whoop his ass.
You think so?
I do think so.
A straight boxing match? Shots fired.
He's aggressive, and Mayweather, he'll dance around the ring for 12 rounds and get hit like 6 times. He dances.
He doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
Right. But that's his style. Defense first. It's that Philly shell style, which is very confusing, and it's very frustrating to fight against because it's a lot of art to that style. Because what he does, he doesn't like stay away and run like you would imagine a lot of other fighters. He stays right there, right in front of you, but just kind of the way he keeps that shoulder rolled in and he positions his hands, he deflects a lot of shots. And he's really good at seeing shots coming, so he'll duck just enough to make you miss, to try to keep himself there to counter-strike. He's a huge on counter-striking.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I I think if the fight went into whichever direction whoever was comfortable there, like if it was an MMA fight, I think McGregor would have the advantage. But boxing, I think Mayweather has an advantage.
Okay.
I think McGregor, he's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. Boxing is a part of MMA, but there's still so much depth to it that after learning it your entire life, like a guy like Mayweather, I can imagine there's a lot about jiu-jitsu that Conor could teach Mayweather. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just those angles, and I don't know. I think he's going to teach McGregor that this is a different game. I think it's going to go down just like any other boring Floyd Mayweather fight. We're going to expect, Conor McGregor is going to promise this exciting fight, and it's going to be a boring 12-rounder, just like all of Floyd Mayweather's fights, man. He makes everybody one-dimensional,
Okay. You don't think McGregor will get frustrated at that and just come trying to pound him?
Yeah, I think he could, and that would be his downfall.
Tire him out.
He hasn't Mayweather hasn't knocked anyone out in a while. The last guy he did knock out, he kind of caught him by surprise. That was controversial. The guy headbutted him, was trying to apologize, but during the fight, you have to keep your hands up, protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
Mayweather hit him and knocked him out. But even before that, he has broken his hands a few times, so his hands are kind of brittle. And I'm guessing that's probably the reason why. Plus, he's an older guy now, so he's very wily and thoughtful and really strategic in his fights. And it seems like he does just enough to win the rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he never gives us what we want. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone wants a fight to just be
a
brawl, like the Rocky movies. They're swinging every second.
Right.
And that's not realistic in the
right.
real world.
Right. Plus, this is a guy with over 40 professional fights who he still has his, good, healthy brain. He can still speak fluently. He doesn't seem to be a punch-drunk kind of guy.
Yeah.
His face isn't messed up. Doesn't seem to have taken a lot of damage to his face and his brain. So I guess that kind of style has really paid off. And money-wise, it's paid off for him.
Yeah.
But for the fans, exciting, we want to see those exciting fights from Floyd Mayweather.
As a fighter, you don't want to expend all your energy, and it's pure strategy on his part.
Right, man. Yeah. So okay. So we're gonna get into some Major League Baseball next.
Keisha,
call us back, Keish. We're gonna go to a break. We're gonna get in some Major League Baseball action. Talk about the Orioles a little bit here. We still have the NFL, Tony Romo, NCAA game, UNC, baby, UNC. We're still going to talk about some NBA action, Russell Westbrook, after this break. Holla at us, 410-702-5657, just a bit outside.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org.
Check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show.
I'm just thankful this year I've dealt with, some growing pains, and I've overcome some things, and I've also, accomplished some things in the process. I've learned some things. I learned that everybody loves your work until they got to pay for it. That's what I learned. I learned everybody loves what you do.
The pay?
I mean, not always.
Listen, the Bible says money answereth all things.
Well,
okay, and there is a place. There is a place where finances is necessary. And when you got kids and when you got a wife and then you doing everything and you top dog at what you do, especially when you weren't in the same place like with this radio show, you ain't in the same place you were a year ago. Should nobody be coming on the show and not donating to your show?
Can you say that on my show?
Should nobody be coming to your show?
Can you say that in the middle of the live?
Make that a promo, please.
Should nobody come on this show without donating? That is a nice commercial. I don't care if it's $20.
Donate.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on
Only
Be
in the
Exposed
forest
Radio.
can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today. Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Just a Bit Outside, Be Exposed Radio. I'm James, here with my main man here, Mark. So, yeah, we were kind of talking about our UFC debate there, McGregor, Mayweather, kind of gave our opinions on that. We have my man D Magic following us on Facebook here. D said Mayweather still has more power in these hands because we kind of talked about his hands being brittle. But then D says, but he hopes Conor McGregor breaks his face in.
Yeah, D, I'm with you.
He sounds like a mutual fan of both, but he still wants McGregor to win. So I think it would be that would be a really good, interesting fight because McGregor's supposedly really good on his feet. He's got that straight left hand that nobody's been able to figure out what to do with. But I don't know. I feel like Mayweather has dealt with some people with some good left hands or straight punches. So that's going to be interesting to see that develop. Anyway, moving forward. We got into this UFC conversation. We had so much fun here. We're kind of running out of time, guys. We want to get into this MLB picture, but before that, let's mention over the weekend we had the PGA Masters tournament in Augusta, Georgia. Sergio Garcia. He's been in the PGA for a while. He and Tiger Woods have battled for a long time. This is his very first PGA major win. So shout out to Sergio Garcia. And after the whole thing was over on Sunday, there was a tie between Sergio and Justin Rose, which actually forced a playoff.
And Rose could have won on the 18th hole.
Right.
He missed the birdie
missed,
shot.
Right. He missed that, which then kind of led to, I think it messed his mind up.
Yeah.
Because he bogeyed the 19th hole, and then Garcia birdied and ended up winning there. So shout out to Sergio Garcia, finally getting that major championship. He gets the green jacket. Yeah, that's good news for him. Quick rundown, NCAA men's basketball tournament. There was a big to-do about that. 19 million brackets in ESPN. I successfully picked the championship game. I'll keep saying it. I picked Gonzaga UNC. UNC ended up winning. Third championship for Roy Williams and USC. What do you think about that?
I think that was the sloppiest championship game of all time on both sides.
Yeah. Shots fired.
They had like 30% field goal percentage. I got some numbers here.
Yeah, Gonzaga was actually known as a defensive team, but this really showed neither team shot well.
They were pretty even on turnovers, pretty even on rebounds, but that that shooting percentage.
Yeah, really bad. Joel Berry, most outstanding player of the tournament. Shout out to Joel Berry. Kennedy Meeks and Justin Jackson, they just did their thing. Kennedy Meeks was too big. Justin Jackson, as the game was winding down, kind of hit a couple 3-pointers to kind of put it out of reach for Gonzaga.
And it's like Gonzaga just relied a little too much on Nigel Williams-Goss.
Yeah.
And I mean, all of them. Karnowski,
yeah.
Like he was so off his game, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, he usually shoots a really good percentage, and he did seem off. But I don't know. I think you see this a lot in Game 7s and championship games, where it's just eerie and the best players just kind of have off nights. But I think, we can attribute it to the, butterflies, guys being nervous. Of course, these are just kids. They're just college basketball amateur players. But
a lot of pressure for Gonzaga, too. The first time in the championship game.
Right.
Not a major conference.
Right. And, of course, UNC, a lot of pressure on those guys, too. There's a lot of hopes coming in. They made it to the championship the previous year. Teams don't usually make it and then win it. I mean, go to and then win it the very next year. So that was pretty odd, pretty cool story for them to win that. Once again, Roy Williams' third championship for UNC. It's going to set up a really cool NBA draft this year. I think there's a lot of young talent coming out.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have Major League Baseball. Kind of talked about the Orioles a little bit here. The Orioles are in first place for 4-1 now. The Rays are in second at 5-3. We have a 9-game road trip. We play the Red Sox next.
What about Toronto? They're 1-5.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming. Baseball's a long season. You got losing streaks, you got winning streaks, but to open the season like that, that puts you behind the wheel.
Yeah. We have a phone call. We have a caller on the line.
Hey, it's me. I'm back.
Hey, Keish.
So, what happened on Sunday?
Yeah, so Mark, you want to explain it to her?
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. The Orioles were up 3-2 in the 8th inning. The Yankees, they tied it up. So in the 9th, it was 3-3, and then the Yankees blew it open and got 4 runs. So we went down 7-3.
Yeah, I think who closed it out? Darren O'Day. He's usually pretty solid.
Yeah, O'Day. That's my man. He's usually pretty solid, but tie game 3-3, 9th inning, Yankees. That was a heartbreaker. So now we're 4-1, Keish.
Right on. But I think the next series that we have we're up against the Boston Red Sox, and we have tomorrow Dylan Bundy against Drew Pomerantz, and Bundy's already had one game, and I think he went like 7 innings and only had 1 earned run, so he's off to a great start. I think that the Orioles will be able to continue their success. They're gonna meet their match playing with Boston. It definitely won't be like the series with New York. But shout out to the Orioles, so they're off to a really good start.
Yeah, there are a lot of people actually calling for the Red Sox to win the division this year.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Keith?
Right. I think we have a pretty good chance at that. I just heard Mark, he alluded to Toronto's performance, and you guys know that I kind of picked them for the World Series to represent the AL.
Yeah, and they're 1-5. Keish, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is up with that, but I mean, my prediction is not starting off too well, but I mean, if Toronto continues this trend, I really think Boston is would be our only real opponent. And we got a pretty good shot at taking that division title.
Okay, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see them O's down there win the division this year. Hopefully we can win the division, win the pennant, go back to the playoffs, get back in there.
Yeah, I'm repping down here. I got my Orioles cap on right now as we speak.
Oh, good. Did you take any Ravens gear out there?
Nah. I think they, I just figured they'd be more baseball fans down here than football.
Right. So tell us some of the stuff that you've seen out there in Hong Kong so far.
Well, yeah. So I'm like 12 hours ahead of you guys. So this was out at about 7 o'clock this morning, and I walked around to a park where I saw people doing Tai Chi.
Wow.
And I guess that's like a thing here. So I think I might wake up tomorrow morning and try to join them if they let me.
Wow. That would be really cool.
So, yeah.
Hey, if you can get out there, try to take some video or some pictures or something. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm definitely going to document that. Yeah, man, it was pretty amazing. Yeah. So, I'm going to take a tour of Hong Kong today. So, like I said, we're gonna be getting it in, and then possibly heading over to Macau. So, got a lot of stuff on deck. But
Cool.
you guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work, and I'm gonna jump off here and log back on to the podcast.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah, log back into the podcast.
That was awesome. That MMA UFC talk was really good.
Good. Thanks a lot. Yeah, we really enjoyed that. We're going to get into some NBA action next with the NBA playoff picture kind of developing here. Thanks a lot, Keish. Everybody.
Hey, no problem.
Keisha.
Hey, Mark, man, I'll holler at you.
Keisha Alexander, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, our host. We're kind of flying without a pilot. I lost a lot of control today. Everybody, just be patient with us. This is my first time hosting. So usually Keisha takes care of that. I'm like the info and the stats guy during the show. I'm trying to like do it all today. So
you're doing good. You're doing good.
Well, thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate that, bro. But yeah, thanks, Keish. And big shout out again to everybody who's watching, everybody who's following, everybody who's supporting. Listening and everything. If you want, give us a shout out on Facebook. Tell us what's on your mind. YouTube, tell us what's on your mind. Be Exposed Radio is the channel, and then the show is called Just a Bit Outside, of course. Give us a call, 410-702-5657. Let us know what's on your mind at any time, guys. So yeah, we're gonna get into this NBA picture here now. We have, of course, my man Russell Westbrook, number 42, 42nd triple-double. He gets it last night, last second shot against the Denver Nuggets. 50 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists. I mean, what?
If he doesn't get MVP, there's something wrong. And remember earlier in a couple weeks back, I said, James Harden is who I was going for, but Westbrook's performance, he has not lit up.
Yeah, and I've actually seen interviews of a couple of guys who actually vote on the MVP, and they say some guys said that they were going to vote. They came in wanting to vote for Kawhi Leonard or James Harden for whatever reasons they had. Him really actually solidifying the record. So now he has the most triple doubles in a season. Second player to average a triple double. Or actually, I think third. Third player to average a triple double.
And he clinched that.
I think Wilt Chamberlain did that.
He clinched that average like 5 games left.
Yeah. So that's crazy. Very historic season, man. So many big things happening for Russell Westbrook. 3 times he's had 50-point triple-double. Keisha just dropped a note. She said he has to get the MVP this year. Third time, so 3 times this season he has 50-point triple-doubles. James Harden has done it twice this season. It's just a crazy season, man.
And the scores, like what the hell are going on with the scores of the games? 120, 130. It's like the All-Star games used to be.
High-flying, high-scoring style of play.
Yeah. The Thunder, they're 5th place in the West right now. Despite what Russell Westbrook has done, how do you think they do in the playoffs?
So they're 5th. So they would match up with the Jazz.
As it stands right now, yeah. 2 games left in the season, but
so if the playoffs started right now, they would match up against the Jazz, which I think is pretty advantageous for them. The big thing that these guys voting on the MVP, the big thing that they want to see is the wins. But more on that. We're about to pay some bills, take a break. So we'll be back with a little more NBA action and some wrap up for you guys when we come back. Just a bit outside. James and Mark here.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Talk dirty to me.
I love it. It's awesome. It's all my music going every day.
Check out this flashback. Our streets are not war zones, and our streets should not be treated as war zones. Now, we got a lot going on in our streets, and we can understand that. We do understand that, and we thank law enforcement and we thank communities for standing up against the things that are going on in their neighborhoods in the negative. But when you have a man broke down on the street, when you have someone in
who was
there
asking for help,
right, asking for help, you got someone in your home, you have a caregiver that's actually complying with his hands out and he's laying down and he's still getting shot, then this is not law enforcement. No. This is brutality. This is not police brutality. This is brutality. I would not call these offenders of justice police. And we do want justice, and we will get justice. And dare I say, by any means necessary. You can catch me Thursdays from 8 to 10 on the Denasha Harrison Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe, but are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Just a Bit Outside with James and Mark. Keisha, once again, is halfway on the, or actually on the other side of the planet. She's in Hong Kong. Blessed us with her presence a little bit here tonight, Mark, right?
Yeah. Good talking to you, Keish.
Yeah, thanks a lot for hollering out at us, Keish. Really quick, thanks a lot, everybody, for participating, hanging out with us tonight. You can check us out on YouTube. Through Be Exposed Radio. And then, of course, the show is called Just a Bit Outside. You can check us out at just beexposedradio.com, and then find the show Just a Bit Outside. We now have a Facebook page up, Just a Bit Outside Facebook page. You can follow us that way. You can follow us as we're starting our show. Of course, we share our go lives throughout the show. Leave comments anytime, and also at any time you can always go back and watch the tapings of our shows. That's the important thing. You can always go back to YouTube, go back online or on the Facebook page and watch our old shows. Our ratings still count for that entire week. Call us anytime, guys. 410-702-5657.
Can't watch us live on Monday? Watch us Thursday morning.
Right, exactly, right. Watch us Tuesday morning as you're drinking your coffee, getting ready, you know. You can't catch us live. Watch us Sunday night, you know.
There you go.
So back to this NBA playoff picture that we have going on here. So we kind of got into it a little bit about Russell Westbrook. 50-point triple-double last night. He and Harden have combined for, I believe, 5 this season. The last time that's happened has been years. This has just been a historic season, a very exciting NBA season. We had some games last night. Westbrook has 50-point triple-double, last-minute shot to win the game against the Thunder. The Cavs actually drop a game against the Hawks. They're both in Eastern Conference, so that kind of held some pretty good implications there. Cavs kind of on a skid. They've lost 2 in a row, Mark. They're in a virtual tie with the Celtics now. So in the Eastern Conference, we have Cavs, Celtics, Raptors, and Wizards in 4th. What do you think about that? What do you think of the Cavs' chances coming back as like defending champs? What do you think about this skid? Do you think this has anything to do with it? You think they're going to be okay?
LeBron is the kind of dude that, like, when the playoffs comes in, he steps it up. So to see him back in the finals, I wouldn't be surprised. But this year has been a rough year for them. So
yeah,
I mean, anything can happen. Like you said, they're in a tie for first in the Eastern Conference. They're actually down right now, 108-106 to the Heat with about a minute left.
Wow.
And Celtics, they are winning against the Nets. Actually, that's a final now, 114-105.
Okay, so they could very well lose first place tonight.
Yep.
With what, 3 games left? How many games?
One more game for them after tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they could very well lose first place. That means home court advantage throughout the whole playoffs.
And Wednesday night, Boston plays Milwaukee, and Cleveland plays Toronto. So I could definitely see Boston wrapping up first place.
Okay, so 2-3 games per team. So it's exciting to see how this is gonna wrap up. So I can't wait to talk more NBA next week.
Definitely.
Hopefully, if we can get Keisha back from the Vegas of Asia over there in Hong Kong, if she wants to come home, she'll join us next week. But it's been a great show. My main man, Mark, thanks a lot, bro. Had a really good UFC talk. We kind of introduced our fans to the UFC this week.
That was a great discussion. Thanks for participating.
Yeah, we really have some exciting things going on. Keisha and I ran that 5K. I kind of wanted to tell a story about that, but maybe
10K.
10K, right? I'm discounting our hard work. 10K, ran a 10K. Shogun fight, some big things happening for Just a Bit Outside radio show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. Big shout out to our sound engineer, Eric. Big shout out to DJ Delight for sound productions, providing the music for us. One love, everybody. Baltimore, spread love, baby.
But not herpes.
It's crazy.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things